So, Trevor, your beloved England, while we've all been off, they lose to Hungary, then they get a draw with Germany last night. I mean, is there any need for panic in this World Cup year? Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I think, listen, England will be okay because they've got quality players.
Goodness for that.
And they've got a calm manager that's overseeing everything. And you look at the Hungary result, it was a poor result. I thought it was a performance that looked like it was being played by a lot of tired players, a lot of players that, without trying to dig them out, didn't want to be there. This is their kind of summer break, and it's when they want to rest up and rest the legs and recharge the batteries. And some of them had been partying as well, and it looked like a group of players that had been in that condition.
The poor loves, isn't it, Simon?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be okay because we've got a tournament to go to. So that's something that's interesting to debate.
You've gone at me early on in that one.
Absolutely.
He's gone in early.
He's gone in early.
Every game that you play in international football has some resonance, has some meaning. Specifically and explicitly, if you're building up to a tournament, you've got a limited amount of games. The Germans will have played a lot of games. The Hungarians would have played a lot of games. Everyone's in the same position. So England not performing in these games, albeit some of the players that were put out there, like Jared Bowen, are new starters and finding their way around the international platform. You don't want to lose momentum. You want to build momentum. You don't want to lose football games, irrespective of your motivation. You certainly don't want to be tired or disengaged playing for your country, and neither should you be. I don't think that either of these games define what England are going to do in the World Cup, because I think we're a long way away from that.
You're right.
But the backdrop is if you're going to go, if we're going to make international football meaningful, as we've tried to with the European Nations Tournament, then put meaningful performances in.
Yeah. Can you understand the anti-Southgate sentiment? A lot of people are giving it, why is he not more positive? We need to be in the front foot.
Off the pitch, some of it, yes. On the pitch, no, not really, because I think Gareth Southgate has earned the right to have a degree of trust.
Off the pitch?
Well, I think some of the observations he's been making through the media about the behaviour of fans and his expectations of what people should and shouldn't be doing, I think are a little bit off the mark. But
like what, though?
Well, he's been talking about the behaviour of the fans' reaction to taking the knee, and I think and also the idea that he
reiterated the message and what's behind it.
Yeah, but that's fine. And we have differing views on that, Trevor. And he also talks about the notion of not putting forward black players to take penalties, which I think is a scandalous observation for him to want to make. But I think on the pitch, I think he's earned the right, due to performances that I think we should have done better in, to not really have an anti-Southgate narrative being built up just before a tournament that we expect to do very well in. I'm not sure that's particularly constructive.
No, I would agree with Simon on that. You want to win this thing in Qatar, not just go there and go deep in the tournament.
Absolutely.
It's time to win it.
Yeah, and these listen, I think the character that they shown last night to get back in the game, I thought the substitutions probably made a little bit too late, but they did have an effect on the game. Jack Grealish, I thought, was excellent, and it's just one of them where he leaves you wanting more. He leaves you wanting more game time, and I'd like to have seen him come onto the pitch earlier. Jared Bowen, I thought, again, had a good impact on the game and shown that he is able to step up to international level and make an impact.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I think Danny Murphy got away with some preposterous observations on Monday about the idea that he can lift Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland, and they should actually be in the situ in one of the top 6 clubs in the Premier League as a management duo, which I think is...
Did he say Manchester United?
I think he said Manchester United, didn't he? Yeah. So... obviously we let him loose, and he's running around of his own reconnaissance, making ridiculous statements, which we'll correct during the course of this show. Yeah. Gareth Southgate has done well in international duty because he's been afforded that opportunity, and we've had great draws that should have got us more results. As a domestic manager, his reference point is relegating Middlesbrough.
Oh.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good work since then. Obviously, the under-21s with England, and then the national team is coming and done really well.
I was at a big talkSPORT gathering last night, Simon, and the sentiment there is...
Who was there?
Well, you weren't, and that shows you how important it was.
So it was a small gathering.
The sentiment there, amongst the many who gathered just round the corner at Vinegar Yard here in London Bridge, is that having got to a World Cup semi-final, having got to the Euros final, and coming within a lick of paper,
You're in it
winning
to win it now. You're in it to win it.
Now... no more excuses. I know this is rich coming from a Scotsman. No more excuses for England. Go win the thing, Trevor.
Listen, there's only one team that wins it, and it's very, very competitive, especially in the World Cup.
No excuses. We've got no post-season.
So what if we have 3 or 4 really key players at the time that are injured?
Okay, but you've got a squad of 25 players. We shouldn't be looking for people to build excuses.
No, exactly.
We should be looking to the fact that we've got the best opportunity. We've got a ridiculous tournament that's been moved into November, December. So we're in mid-season. We've got breaks lined up for it. There is no reason. And by the way, if we get 3 or 4 injuries, it's likely that other countries and other teams are going to get 3 or 4 injuries, so it'll be an equal playing field. And of course, if we lose players like Harry Kane, yes, that argument can be advanced.
But Tammy might get the opportunity then.
And of course he will. We cannot be a team to win a World Cup, with the exception of people like Lionel Messi and Diego Maradona. To win a World Cup, you need to be a bit more than a one-trick pony, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Trevor, people are not having it that maybe players were tired.
So what's the opinion of Gareth? Because you were going to get into that.
And the rest. Matthew Gould saying, I mean, tired, England players tired at this stage? Are England the only players that played a league season there?
That's right.
I mean, he's right.
No, he is right. Listen, I'm just saying what I saw. You know, some of the players on that pitch played 70 games. Liverpool players played 70 odd games.
The Germans.
Well, they didn't play 70 odd games because they didn't get to the Champions League final, but they played a lot. And I understand what you're saying. I just feel it's been a long season for the players. It's obviously the intensity in the Premier League is different to a lot of other leagues. The athleticism that's required.
No pessimism.
Concentration. So I wouldn't look too much into it. Like I said at the top, I think Gareth's going to be nice and calm. He'll be pleased with the character they've shown to get back into the match last night.
This is one of the most talented generations of England players in a long, long time. So why should there even be a hint of pessimism going into what is a World Cup season?
I think if you get a few injuries to key players, it could hamper the tournament. But in general, I think we've got a great squad.
In due respect, I would quite happy for the media to have some pessimism, because then they'll dial the narrative down. Because if we can manage expectations, often we go into tournaments with no expectations. I don't think Gareth Southgate should get away with no expectations, because we've now gone to a World Cup semi-final that we should have won against Croatia. We've gone to a European Championship final at home. We never get a better opportunity with these draws. You've now got a grown-up draw coming your way, so we'll see how you go, because you've got a proper draw in this World Cup. But the bottom line is that the expectation should be high. We should be looking to the next step. But what we don't want is this rabid media that says it's nailed on.
It's coming on.
Rabid media.
Well, you know, we get a bit hysterical. We go from one extreme to the other. It's like a feast and famine mentality, isn't it?
Having said all that, is there an unjustified anti-Southgate sentiment beginning to creep in at the wrong time for England?
I think so.
I see signs of it, and I think it's unfair.
I think so. Listen, I think it's a blip. The Hungary game, the result, the way the boys performed. But I think again, he's shown last night. He made changes. Them changes affected the game. Grealish was involved.
Still didn't put Abraham on last night.
No, I was disappointed for him, because he's had an absolutely brilliant season over in Roma in Italy.
Chuck him on.
Did really well. But again, if you're Harry Kane, you're saying, I want to play. I'm the best player. Do not bring me off. I want to score goals. He got his 50th goal. He's 3 behind Rooney, 4 from breaking the record. Why would he want to be pulled off?
England isn't about Harry Kane.
No, of course
England's about the sum of all its parts.
But if you're one of the best players, you've got your right to say, I want to play.
No, I don't think he does.
You've got the right to do as you're told. By the England manager.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.